Welcome to day 6. Before we begin, just take your chair, close your eyes, and make a resolution to yourself to just let it go. Whatever else is going on in your world right now, whatever problems are in your mind, just let them go for the next 10 minutes and take a break. You can pick them up again after if you want, but right now, just resolve to be in this moment and be that space which is consciousness. Be aware of whatever takes your attention. So we'll start off focusing on the breath. At the same time, you can be aware of sounds which you hear. You can feel sensations of your body. We'll start with the main idea of the breath. It's inevitable that you will start thinking. It's no problem, just go back to the breath. If my voice disturbs you when you're in a moment of perfect consciousness, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just another sound appearing in consciousness. So you can hear it, notice it, and let it go. You don't need to force the breath, you don't need to breathe slower or faster or any kind of special way, just let it come naturally. See if you can concentrate completely on the next inhalation and exhalation. And when you exhale that first one, start again with complete attention on the first inhalation. The same as yesterday, I want to try and count to 5 breaths with the inhalation and exhalation being one breath. See if you can get to 5 without being interrupted by a thought. If you do, catch yourself thinking, just go back to the 1 and start again. Well done if you managed to get to 5, and also well done if you didn't, if you noticed yourself thinking, because the act of noticing, that is being mindful. If you made a judgment, if you made some kind of a comment to yourself, then you can just resolve to not do that again next time. It takes a little practice. Whenever you're feeling a moment of frustration or some intense emotion that you don't particularly want, you could, in 3 breaths, just focus on that inhalation, exhalation 3 times, and you would find it's like a resetting of your state, of your emotions, and then you can move on from that point. It may sound a little bit patronizing, but I think we choose how we feel. So if you're feeling angry, you choose to feel angry. Something has caused the anger, and in that moment, if you notice that anger, you could choose to investigate it. For example, to say to yourself, where am I feeling this anger? So if you look at it from a curious perspective, instead of something that I used to do, which is to keep thinking of the thing which made me angry, like firing up again and again and again. Instead, you could curiously say, where am I feeling this anger? In my heart, it's a hot feeling. If it was a color, it would be red. Something like that. In this moment, you could ask yourself how you're feeling, what mood you're feeling. Could you take an investigative look? Could you take a curious perspective of what that feeling is, where you feel it? What does it look like? How do you know that that's what you're feeling? And then you can return back to the breath. Ask yourself, how much attention are you paying? Is it a struggle? Is it tiring? Is it an effort? Because it doesn't need to be. Is it possible to relax and be that state of consciousness, but without an effort? To just let the things which are appearing, sounds or feelings of the body, or even a thought, or focusing on the breath, just let those things appear. It doesn't need to be like squinting to see something. When you catch yourself thinking, you can either look at that thought or just return to the breath. Remember, when I say look at the thought, I mean to say notice that you were thinking, but you don't need to make a mental comment about the thought. For example, I'm thinking, because that would just be another thought. That would be a thought on top of a thought. Just observe the fact that you're thinking in the same way that you've been noticing a sound which comes and then goes. And you can just be that space now, be that space of consciousness. And for the last minute, let whatever appears take your attention, and then let it disappear. And then notice the next thing which appears, and so on. Well done. That's the end of day 6, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for the completion of the first week. If at any point you feel very busy or overwhelmed today, you could just close your eyes for 3 seconds and inhale, exhale slowly, and try to notice it the way we've been practicing in these moments.